Jennifer is an incredible artist. She's an incredible human being. There's not an ego there. There was no ego with the work she did with this, and that I've ever seen from Jennifer. She's very humble, sweet, and confident and strong. And I think it's because she's lived a life. I mean, she's not, she's not just out there just sort of singing because she's got this great voice. There is great joy and sorrow and pain and strength and love and everything that she does, because it's all part of who she is. And so Liesl Tommy, our director, really gave us a very safe, quiet space to film that scene. It almost felt like there was no one, there were obviously cameras and stuff, but it just was set up in such a way that, Jennifer trusted me and I trusted her, so we knew that we could go to this sort of very emotional place and we would be safe because we would be there catching each other. And then Liesl just kind of gave us the space to do it. And it was a very sort of like magical moment when we were shooting it. It just like the crew was there and then everybody would just disappear, and it really did become this sort of thing where it was just me and Jennifer, and hopefully somewhere embodying Barbara and Aretha having this sort of moment that transcends space and time and gives Aretha the healing that she needs.
And then Jennifer comes behind her and sings I'll Always Love You, and nobody takes that song and takes a shot at it. Nobody does. Everybody's scared of that song, Not Jennifer. Not Jennifer. She's got the pipes for it. She's got that big sound. She's got the gospel for it. I was very impressed, and I was honored that she would come out and she'd sang for me, and sing that particular song. I've never heard anybody take a shot at that song and do it.
What was it like for you to see Jennifer Hudson stepping into this role that Aretha herself has said to Jennifer, you're gonna win your next, are you gonna win your next Oscar playing me? What was it like to see her do her thing?
Man, it was amazing. She really felt, and she really, embodied young, shy Aretha, which is the part that I got to play with her. I never even knew Aretha was ever shy.
Right.
So she, from what I saw, we all know Jennifer Hudson could sing the house down, and she just really looked like Aretha. It was a little creepy. She really did it.
Wow.
Down about you. Who would you like to play Aretha Franklin?
Well, we're down to about 3 people.
Is Halle Berry
one of them is Audra McDonald, who just won her 8th or 9th Tony on Broadway. And the other is Jennifer Hudson. And then there is a surprise that I'm not going to mention. And then there is the director's book that we're going to look into and see if there is someone there that might fill the bill.
Is there something you particularly want in your biopic if that movie's made?
Something particular that I
from your
want?
life. Yeah.
The truth.
The truth.
Yeah.
That's really good.
Yeah.
Hey, Corey, what's your question?
Patti Labelle, what do you think of the news Jennifer Hudson will be playing Aretha Franklin in a biopic? And have you given her any advice on playing the Queen of Soul?
Guess what? How'd you know? She called me like a month ago, and she wanted to come to my house, and we're going to go over my back in the day moves when I was singing with Aretha and all of the things in our back in the daytime. So she wants me to help her with this movie by giving her some info, and that's my baby girl. She's phenomenal.
Trouble with Jennifer Hudson off Reclassified is kind of has like a doo-wop feel, actually. It's really cool. It's kind of like something you'd picture Aretha Franklin singing, who I am a massive fan of, and I just wanted to do something different for me stylistically, and Jennifer, I had the pleasure of working on our song together for her album, and I felt like there weren't a lot of people that could sing and do it justice, and so I automatically called her straight away, and she did it, and I'm really excited to get to perform that, actually, because I feel like it's a moment when we're going to have a lot of like backing vocalist doing dances, so I'm excited, yeah.
I heard that you're also working with Jennifer Hudson. You're writing for her?
Yeah,
Is that
yeah,
correct?
that's stuff together for her new album. She told me when we first started that she wanted this album to be a bit more personal than the last album. You know, so the songwriting process this time around, a lot of phone conversations, you know, a lot of just talking about what happened in your day type stuff, you know what I'm saying? Just really getting to know her as a person and as a mother now, and you know, with all of that. So that's the songwriting process this time, as opposed to last time it was just, you know, Jennifer Hudson needs a hit.
And you just think of something.
Yeah, figure something out. You know, now it's, you know, okay, well, this happened, so let's do a song like XYZ, and then I'll write, you know, according to what it is that she was talking about.
Have you actually gone in the studio yet with her, or
Not
just
yet.
okay?
Not
So
yet.
it's just the
She's
beginning
doing a lot of
process.
stuff. I think she's actually, where is she right now? I know she's out of the country somewhere shooting a movie right now. So you know, locking that one down is a very, very difficult thing.
Original but rearranged, and a different arrangement that includes the wonderful Ariana Grande and Jennifer Hudson.
Yes.
It's been really fun to revisit a song which is already a staple within your Christmas canon and bring others into it and think about it differently vocally and who's going to sing what.
Yes, well, originally, Oh Santa, a song I collaborated on with Jermaine Dupri and Brian Michael Cox, like two of my favorite people to write with. And I went to Jermaine and I was like, you know, I want to do a fun, up-tempo Christmas song. I want it to be like that's a beat.
Yeah.
And so that's how we work, you know? And so we took it from there. I sort of did a layered vocal arrangement, which is why I thought when we had the whole chance with Ari and with Jennifer Hudson, and I was like, let's do it with a girls group, like a Supremes kind of vibe, because that's what I was thinking when I did it originally, because it's like a classic type sounding record.
And I feel like you've done that throughout your whole career within the Christmas space, that I feel that that's an opportunity for you to go out there and recreate some of those girl group environments, but using yourself as the entire picture.
Yeah, that's like an All I Want for Christmas Is You vibe. That was the original Oh Santa. When the opportunity presented itself to work with Ariana and with Jennifer Hudson, and I had to think as a producer, because vocal producing is really one of my favorite things, and I think one of the things that I'm best at, particularly with layering and background vocals and stuff like that. And just like how we're gonna do it, and like what's the layering, and it was difficult because that song was
You knew
not,
it. It's in its original form, and now you're like, I have to reverse engineer this and give it new life, but it already means something to you.
Yes, and you know what, it was the one song that I was like, you know, we can have fun with it, because it was never like super serious or whatever. It's fun, it's festive. To me, those are the best type of Christmas songs, when you don't have to think so much about it. Even though I have songs like that, it's when you can be free. And so I feel like the featured moments here were really fun, because, you know, you hear J Hud, you know it's her. You hear Ariana, you're like, oh wow, that sounds so a great, you know, new interpretation of that moment. And then I'm there as the, you know, the one that wrote the song and put the whole thing together. And, you know, it's fun. There's the chant, there's a whole thing. I think, you know, kids are going to like it who maybe never got a chance to hear it before. So, you know, I'm excited.
I have to give a big up to Jennifer Hudson. I did the title cut for her new album, I Remember Me. I produced and wrote that with her. And it's honestly probably the most emotional song I've ever been involved in my whole career.
What did you base? What was the subject matter?
She sent me, so check this out. Last year at Clive's party, Clive purposely, he was on me for 6 months about working with Jennifer Hudson. And I was like, no, I love Jennifer, you know, blah, 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 but I was on tour with One Republic, so I'm a hard guy to track down. He sat me next to Jennifer Hudson.
Oh, wow.
So I sit down, she's like, so I hear we're gonna work together. And I was like, yes, we are. She sends me an email with a diary entry dated right after her family was, and it was literally her thoughts immediately after that happened. And it started with the phrase, I remember me. I used to smile. I used to know love. I used to laugh. I used to hear things, you know. And it was probably about 4 or 5 paragraphs, and it was literally her thoughts after her family was murdered. And she said, you're the one to write the song. I want you to put music and melody to these words. And so I pulled as much as I could from it and tried to turn it around, and what we ended up with is I Remember Me, which is the name of her album. And honestly, the most emotional, incredible song that I've ever been a part of in my career.
I hear you have a serious connection with, like, history with American Idol, and I didn't know this.
Oh, yeah.
So it's with Jennifer Hudson, right?
Yeah.
Wait, tell everyone this. I didn't know this.
They asked me to do American Idol, and I said, you know what I'd like to do? I'd like to give each one of the people on American Idol a new arrangement of the song they picked. They wanted to do all of my songs. And I said, okay, you can do that, but I knew everybody was going to ruin them if I didn't get my hands on them. So I worked with each one of them for a week.
Yeah.
And I gave them all different arrangements, the way they wanted it to, and they were great. Every one of them was great, and one of them was Jennifer Hudson.
Yeah.
And she got bumped off that week. And
the week that she did your...
She did a great rendition of Weekend in New England. It was great working with all of them.
Yeah, I think it's cool that you let them, because a lot of times they don't let you be an artist. You're just singing other people's songs. I think it's cool that you let them, like, you know, cater to them, who they are as artists, and like take your song.
That's hours with them.
I know, that's what I'm saying. That's really kind.
Yeah.
And coming from that world and living in that world now with The Voice, not everybody does that. So
right,
it's
you know,
really
they would
kind.
put I Made It Through the Rain on the piano, and then just sing it the way the piano player played. And I went, you know, no, let me help you. What do you want to say with I Made It Through the Rain?
Yeah.
And then little by little, we would arrange the song for each artist. And
I think that's
great.
so special.
Yeah.
Just taking the time. That's so nice. Did you talk to Jennifer after that?
Oh, well, after that, she got bumped off that week, and I was due to do this Ryan Seacrest outdoor show, and I took her with me, and I was supposed to do two songs. I said, you do the second song, Jennifer.
Oh
and
my
I played the
God.
piano for her doing Weekend in New England on Ryan's show.
That's so nice.
I loved her so much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, she did some things.
Yeah.
You know how to choose them. You should be an A&R person.